Now, this next one's what I call the mouthful question. Could you describe in detail a particular scenario or incidents where you utilized your own philosophy on leadership? Now, you had mentioned vision or visionary earlier.
Yeah, you know, so I think that, you know, starting my practice back in 1997 here in Louisville, I was nobody. I never lived in Louisville.
Right.
I basically hardly knew anybody in Louisville. And so you're gonna start a practice here. And so I started by myself, getting my line of credit, but I had a vision. So, you know, I met Margaret Anderson as my accountant, and Janet Riley as my banker. Real people that just helped me at the beginning. I started in a 2,000 square foot office, still with a vision that I wanted this comprehensive practice. And I sort of led by example. Now you push forward 20 years later, you know, now we're in 16,000 square feet. I have 60 employees instead of 2 employees. Margaret Anderson and Janet Riley are still with me, along with many, many of my employees have been with me between 10 and 20 years. This sort of started with me. And, you know, we've grown in that sort of experience to sort of reach that goals. And I've always been part of it and part of the working in making that happen. So I think that I have led by example in trying to show what we can do. And I think that I just had a vision. I just didn't know the path to get there. And you know, sometimes luck. You know, you always say luck is where opportunity meets preparation, and so maybe that's what it is. You know, that parts of it are being prepared, and then the right opportunities came along, the right timing and stuff. It did not seem like the right timing in 2007 when I was opening my new office of 16,000 square feet and gaining all these employees, and then we had the financial crisis of 2008, right? So it didn't seem like the perfect timing, but ultimately it worked out, and actually it allowed us to do more with non-surgicals, and it just so happened by chance that so many patients couldn't really afford to do surgery at that time, but they could definitely do Botox or fillers, and so we were prepared for that, and we brought that to Louisville in a much bigger way. And so I think it was helpful.
Now your center, you can literally do the surgeries on site.
We have 2 operating rooms.
Phenomenally efficient, I would think.
Yeah, so efficient for my time, my partner's time, that you can be there, and efficient, but also present. Because as a surgeon, often 3 days a week, I was not in my office. I was at the hospitals operating, and I'd be back for 2 days, but patients were coming in all the time for follow-ups, but I wouldn't be there. Today, I'm there. So when I see my patients, so my nurses may be seeing the patient, but if there's any issue, between cases, I'll come out and see the patient. So I'm always available and around to manage the patient. So I think that's better for the patients.
And what was the idea behind Calo Spa? Is that common with plastic surgery centers, or is that fairly unique?
Yeah, I think that 20 years ago there was no such thing, and so when I started practice, I really brought skincare and some Botox. I was really probably one of the first 3 people to bring Botox to Louisville, Kentucky back in '97. It didn't get FDA approved till 2002 for cosmetic reasons, that is. So I think that it was just a little bit of that of starting out with this sort of medi-spa idea within my own little practice, and then it started to expand in communities, and other people started to have medi-spas. And what I didn't like was that medi-spas were popping up that weren't really associated with plastic surgeons or dermatologists, that weren't really sponsored and or watched over very carefully, and a lot of injuries were occurring, and a lot of really bad medicine was occurring. So I thought it was important to bring a spa into and next to and part of a plastic surgery practice, so people can have the comfort of the relaxation, the rejuvenation of a spa that is not so intimidating, but know that the safety and the care of the plastic surgeons are on site with them, and that was the whole idea.